What's up, everybody? Extra here once again with the third episode of Totally Sick, Bioshock Edition. This time we're running through the Neptunes Bounty and the Smugglers Den. This level only introduces about one or two new enemy types. The first one is the Rosy Big Daddy that we'll see. It's a different type that's got like a rivet gun and it can throw proximity mines at you. It's more of a long-ranged enemy as opposed to the bouncer. The other type that we'll see is the Spider Splicer, actually. We've already seen one in the first level, but they formally make their appearance here. This tonic that I'm picking up is called Medical Expert. It gives you a 20% increase in the amount of health that first aid kits will heal you for, which is pretty nice. But Spider Splicers are actually the objective of this level. We have to find a research camera and take 3 pictures of them for the boss, Peach Wilkins. I like how you can see the turret just blasted that splicer over. I gotta get rid of this RPG turret real quick, because I'll be back through this area several times. But we basically just have to find the research camera and take pictures for him. The way research works in this game is that you fill a bar by taking pictures of the various enemies. Every enemy has one, even Little Sisters, and the better the photo determines how quickly you can fill that bar. The quality is determined by things like how many times you photograph that particular enemy. You can usually get about 3 or 4 successive shots before it'll stop giving you points. If there's more than one enemy, how close up they are, how centered they are, or if they're doing anything interesting, like jumping around or attacking you. I'm talking to Peach right now, and just in a second, the first Spider Splicer we ever saw, Rose, will jump down. She can be killed in this level, although not in this fight, but it's not really worth it. She doesn't really have any loot that I would want, plus she has a ton of health, so she's kind of a pain in the ass to fight. So you basically just circle around this pillar until he calls a security bot to deal with her and drive her away. Every enemy has 5 research levels. Each one takes more points than the last to fill, with the first, third, and fifth levels give you a permanent damage bonus to every enemy of that type. I believe it's 10% for each, so by the time you fill up the 5th level, you'll have like a permanent 30% damage increase to whatever enemy you've maxed out your research on. The 2nd and 4th levels will either be some kind of rare tonic, or that you can only get through research, or it'll be a bonus that's unique to that enemy, like Nitro Splicers. You can make their bombs that they throw duds up to 35% of the time, or Spider Splicers, you can use their organs like first aid kits, which is pretty nice. But basically, you just have to leave this room, then go up to the Wharfmaster's office and find the research camera. The Wharfmaster's office, by the way, is one of the hardest areas to move through, especially on this difficulty, just because it has like 2 RPG turrets, 2 regular machine gun turrets, and 1 security camera in it, which is really great if you're hacking, but it's not really good for me since I have to run through it. Just kill all these splicers real quick. Break more first aid stations. So as you see, most of this level, I only do about like 40% of this entire level. There are a few areas like Mudunna's Bar that I don't even visit. There's another Rosy Big Daddy with a Little Sister. Almost get blown up. Gotta run up these stairs as fast as I can because there's actually 2 security cameras right behind me. Then you break this lock and basically make a mad dash for the hole in the wall in the Wharfmaster's office that allows you to get to the security, or the research camera. So pick up the research camera there, and then turn to your right, and that's the first one. If you let it center on an enemy, and then when the little reticule starts spinning, you get a better research bonus that way. I decided to take the camera back out and take a picture of this leadhead splicer so that I can get the first damage increase, because now, as you saw, it only takes 2 wrench swings instead of 3 to kill them. You actually can die from that fall. I just happened to land on something. So that's pretty nice. The other 2 spider splicers that I have to research are to the right and the left passageways, but I have to kill these guys first. As you can see, it only took 2, so that helps speed things up. The first one's there on the ceiling, if you didn't notice. These rooms, I'm assuming that you're supposed to not notice that they're going to be like right in front of you, and then you kind of have to trek through the room to get them, but since I already know where they are, I just take their picture immediately. So we're pretty much done with this level. All we have to do is get back to the bathysphere, and we'll head back to the medical pavilion to do some research grinding. First, I make a quick trip back to, almost all the way back to Peach's room just to grab a tonic and some film for the camera. The tonic I grab is called Wrench Lurker. It's another, obviously, wrench-based tonic that it makes your footsteps quieter, and it increases the damage that the wrench does by 150% against anyone who's unaware of you. So you can basically like sneak up to people and do like an RPG-style rogue backstab, which is great if you're using Insect Swarm or Target Dummy, because enemies under the effect of those two plasmids count as unaware. The reason I'm hacking this machine instead of the one that's next to the bathysphere is because this one actually has film that I can buy, which I buy all that I can carry because I'll need it. When you pick up Wrench Lurker, Rose actually shows up. She's just to the right there, but I completely ignore her. So basically, this part is just a run back to the bathysphere, and then I get back to the medical pavilion, which the only things that I really need to do there, I research all the enemies that I can there, I just run through, but the only ones that I really need to research are the bouncer-style Big Daddy and the thuggish splicers. The bouncer-style Big Daddy, actually, a quick bit of trivia, the one that's synonymous with Bioshock, sort of, the one that's on like the cover of the game, is... he only appears, or at least one that looks like that, only appears in 2 levels. This one and, like, the second to last one, the Proving Grounds. All of the other ones that appear later in the game are the elite versions. They have, they're like red and white, and they have a gold drill. As you can see, I'm basically just running around and spamming the research camera button. I didn't show it, but I didn't record this, but I went back and researched level 2, or up to level 2 on the Rosy Big Daddies, because their level 2 bonus is a tonic called Photographer's Eye number 2, and it gives you a 20% increase in all of the points that you could possibly get from researching. So that's what I have equipped right now instead of Armored Shell. There's a Bouncer Big Daddy. Yeah, the ones that look like that, this is the only level besides the second to last one where these guys actually appear. They're important because their second level of research gives you Wrench Jockey 2, which increases the wrench damage even further, and their fourth level gives you a permanent 50% increase to all the wrench damage that you could possibly do to an enemy, which is pretty nice. The other enemy I mentioned was the Thuggish Splicer, and besides the damage bonuses you get from them, obviously. Their second level and fourth level research gives you Sports Boost 1 and 2, which is basically the equivalent of like God mode in this game for the wrench. It increases your movement, like how fast you can run, by 30% when you have both of them both of them equipped, and the wrench swing speed by 75%. So as you'll see, once I have both Sports Boost 1 and 2 equipped, I quickly just like beat everybody down in the room super quick. I can now swing the wrench about as fast as I can pull the trigger, which is really nice. I get a ton of points because there's like 4 splicers in that room all fighting each other and me. So that's basically all this level is. This is just grinding, so I apologize if this is boring. I try to take a few more pictures of him, but it won't let me because I'm already taking them. So by the time I get out of this level, I should be on research level 3 or 4 for about half the splicers that are in the game. Because the only ones I haven't really dealt with have been spider splicers and the new splicer that we'll see in the next level. He's the last new type.
Keep away from my patient.
So I'm basically done now. I can just leave the level. That's all the research that you can do. Unfortunately, I can't like leave and then come back because it remembers that you researched these enemies already. Like I couldn't leave and then reload the level and research that same bouncer again. So I can't just sit there and grind him until I have level 5 on him, which is what I would like to do, but I can't. So we'll leave and go back to Neptunes Bounty. And then we will now get to the fight where we fight Peach. The reason I had to do all of that research before I actually fight him is because once you enter his area, the door closes, and the next time you have access to a bathysphere to go back and visit any level you want is after the next level, after you do Arcadia. So if you don't do it now, you kind of can't. I was originally going to split this into 2 videos, but I decided to just do Peach's fight last in a separate little chunk and then edit it all together just because I didn't want to do all this research and then get to Peach and then die, because he is actually a pretty difficult boss. He's a nitro splicer, so he throws bombs, but he's actually the upgraded version. He's a red Molotov nitro splicer, so he throws Molotov cocktails that explode everywhere. And he also has, you know, a bunch of health. He has about 2,800 health, again, just like Dr. Steinman. Before you can go see him, he makes you give up all of your weapons, so the only thing you actually go into this fight with is all of your plasmids and the wrench, which is fine, because we're only using the wrench anyway. I get rid of all my weapons, and then I replace Photographer's Eye 2 with Armored Shell, just for now, because I don't want to take any more pictures. I'm sure I'll do another video once I get the ability to kill pretty much everything that's in my way. Pick up a hack tool and a first aid kit. This area starts to fill with smoke as soon as you get into it, or frost, or whatever this is. But this fight's kind of hard just because Peach has a bunch of help. He has this research camera, or this security camera that you can destroy, so I destroy that. And then that little grate right there, there's a turret that pops out of that. Plus, while you're fighting Peach, he's running around throwing bombs at you, and a bunch of leadhead splicers show up and start shooting at you. So he's not really that difficult by himself, but just the fact that he's in this kind of annoying area with a bunch of stuff that could possibly attack you makes him difficult. But now, since I have Sports Boost 1 and 2 equipped, I can basically just rush up to him and then, like, beat the shit out of him super quick. Alright, now the fight starts. Take out the turret. Then jump down here. There's Peach behind there. He kind of looks like Isaac from Dead Space with that glowing mask there, that welder's mask. You can see he's almost already down to like half his health. I tried to stay close to him so that he does his melee attack instead of throwing bombs at me. You can see he threw a bomb up right there, but it landed in the water and diffused itself, which is pretty funny. And then he's dead. Right now I decided to just like run through the level. I have a complete disregard for my own health. Run up to these splicers, beat them down. Loot his corpse. You don't actually have to because he doesn't have like a key or anything. He just has some good loot, like money, and an automatic hack tool. Go in here, beat this guy down. Use Incinerate and melt some more ice. Smoke some cigarettes really quick. So basically this fight was already over. I go to this vending machine that I hacked earlier with an automatic hack tool and I buy just a bunch of first aid kits because I was out. Go back to the pneumo tube, pick up all the weapons that I'm not going to use anyway. Go to the right, melt this ice. Then go in here and melt some more ice. And then that will be it for this level, and then we'll just do the short level Smugglers Run, which has only like 2 areas. Or Smuggler's Hideout, sorry. What did I say? Smuggler's Run? So this level's a short one. It's pretty straightforward. There's a turret behind me, but I can just kind of ignore him. I drink all this, like 5 bottles of alcohol to get my health back, pick up another first aid kit. There is a way to skip that door from closing. When you get in here and you press this switch, this door behind you slams shut. There is a way to get through it, but for the life of me, I practiced it probably like 20 times and I couldn't get through the door. Because if you can get through it, you can get all the way down there without any enemies spawning. Like, the scripted event is basically just broken and you can just leave the level. But I couldn't get out. That guy that's down there is supposed to be Atlas talking to you, even though he looks like a regular splicer. In fact, only Sandra Cohen, who's the boss of the 5th level, Fort Frolic, and Andrew Ryan, they're the only characters in the entire game that actually have a unique character model. Everyone else, including Jack, is a variation of the different splicers. So once this scripted event happens, the door behind you will open, and you can basically just run for the exit. There's no real need to stop and fight any of the splicers. So just beat all these guys down. Run forward, a spider splicer drops down from the ceiling. These guys do, but then they get blown up. A pretty spectacular explosion. So that's basically it. You just kind of run through the rest of this level, and then you go into the docking bay there, and your new objective is to go to this next level and try to get to a different bathysphere. So that is all for this level, and I will see you guys next time in Arcadia, level 4.